Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Java. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy Friday. So, this is for November 17th, 2023. Want to go over our MMRI is still down at the moment. So, we'll look at the main elements, which are the relative strength of the dollar, which is trying to hold, but it's come down quite a bit, and the US 10-year yield, which is continuing to decline at the moment. So, the weakness of the two together are really bolstering stocks and creating a buy-in to them. So now I want to say that at this level, though, I see a mild correction incoming today, as well as a lot of volatility, and we'll talk about why in just a moment. So gold has benefited from this, and it's looking pretty strong at the moment. Oil looking forward is also catching a little bit of a break. It's been on decline for the last few days. So, with supply outputs, the price is declining in oil. I do expect that it will recover longer. For the long run, it will be higher, and that will in turn increase inflation. But for the moment, it looks like it's coming into buying opportunities. So, we've got futures green, and the general sentiment is still positive. Now, markets are feeling bolstered from these past couple of days of a weak dollar and the yields retracing. So today is the third Friday of the month, which means that it is also a major options expiration day. So max pain day, and that means that if you are into swing trade options, check out the maxpain.com and you can check out where the largest volume of the stock that you're in for that option is. And what happens is the market doesn't like paying out on these options. It's quite a bit, so they will swing in high volatility, and then that way they don't have to pay out either side. And the other thing I would like to point out is that moving into commodities, we may be watching the beginning of a market rotation out of equities and into safer assets. Gold is the first marker of these. So the surge in bullish bets, as this says, is helping stocks higher, and it could create again that squeeze that we've been watching. As it gets to certain levels, then the computers take over and begin buying as well. But as I said, $2.4 trillion in options set to expire today. So in the calendar today, we've got housing starts and building permits. Those are both prior to the market open. Next week is major US holiday. It's Thanksgiving, so it will be a short trading week. So with this, we are currently watching home builder sentiment. It's at the lowest it's been in some time. But the drop in rates, mortgage rates, over the past couple of days has spurred people getting into mortgages, not just new ones and looking at purchasing homes, but refinancing, pulling out money, and then reinvesting. So we could watch, this could also spur in the real estate a shift there. So with that, we've got Walmart CEO. He's warning that a deflation could be coming this holiday season. Now, a lot of the larger, basically speculators or market people are guessing that it would be first quarter next year. Walmart CEO is saying that he is seeing right now a decline in not just spending, but prices in general that are being purchased and lower prices in goods. So people are shifting out of everything they can, basically substituting for lower prices. So in general, what that means is that even though inflation is up, numbers will still be down as people are not only spending on lower items, but they're spending less. So they are hoping that Social Security, there is an update, it says that 2 million people will receive 2 December payments, millions will receive 2 December payments, and they're hoping that will find its way into retail sales and also markets. So going globally, we've got Vietnam is ramping up the South China Sea island expansion, and this is kind of going to upset things a little bit. So we just did have the APEC summit, and we also had the US sign a landmark nuclear deal with the Philippines. So we've got war going on in the Middle East and more unrest going on in Asia. So with this summit, we did just have the president of China meet with the president of the United States. Unfortunately, it didn't go very well. They both kind of held civility. However, relations, I wouldn't say, went to the improvement side. They kind of held as they are, which is not very good. So we'll see what happens from here. They are pushing the war narrative. So we've also got from the Times of India, they're talking about their consumer loans are getting costlier because the Reserve Bank of India is basically stepping in and hiking rates, preserving their currency, but it's going to make everything they do just what we went through. Their cost of mortgages and car loans all increasing. So on the other side of the markets, we've got a slight bit of a surprise, but more with banking. Greece is selling 22% stake in their national bank, and this means that the state will receive just over $1.1 billion worth in exchange for a stake in their bank. So we've got the last couple of things. The Japanese yen is having its best week in 4 months, and mostly it's on the weakening dollar. So the yen is getting stronger, which is kind of a good thing because we've been waiting for the Bank of Japan is willing to step in at any time in order to manipulate their currency. So maybe they'll stay and keep things as they are and not create a great amount of unrest. So they are always willing to just step in, though. My last story is about Brazil. So they have basically at the Web Summit, they created baseworks for cryptocurrency regulation. And what that has done is open the door for them to start building businesses with exchanges and any crypto business. So this is a huge advance in fintech, financial technology, and they're going to draw quite a few companies. So I think this is major loss in the hands of the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States. They were looking at regulating cryptocurrency, which would have drawn in all of these companies as well as the money behind them. So kind of lost out on that one. Now it's going to Brazil and by default going into the BRICS. So for lava updates today, I've got a couple of things. The first is I would like to do a quick check, if you don't mind, on the quality of the videos lately. And mainly, I mean the video quality as well as the sound, if those have been okay, but also the content. If there's anything you have to say about this, any comments, I would really love to hear basically some feedback if you would. My last story is regarding a letter that has been circling on TikTok that Osama Bin Laden had written to the American people. Now, what happened was he had written several letters back then to the American people. Nobody really paid attention, and no one was aware until lately. It has been cycling. And so now people are reading these, and there's actually two. There was the original one, which was posted by The Guardian on the 24th of November 2002. So that one with the intent to circulate, I have reposted on Twitter because it's been buried a little bit underneath a different one, which has completely different content. So my point also is that they're using this to say that they should be banning not just TikTok and banning the app, but also regulating more social apps, which I disagree with. I think that leads to more control, of course. Freedom of speech will go away, and we're watching that erode very rapidly. So with that, I wish you all a green trading day, or just a wonderful day in general, of course. And until I see you again, my friends, have a wonderful weekend and stay free.